Hi everybody, Elizabeth here with Country Peony. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited for today's coffee and crafting. So if you're new here, I love to enjoy a cup of coffee after my lunch and I love to get crafting. So I wanted you to join me here. Today it's a super casual conversation. First, I'm going to kind of talk about some of my favorite items this week. And then I'm also going to go into a really fun craft. So today it is a really sweet designer inspired pillow that we're going to be making with Ghost. So I want to start off by introducing myself. If you're new here, my name's Elizabeth and I'm with Country Peony, and Country Peony is a DIY and craft blog in Texas. And I focus on simple, inexpensive, whimsical crafts and spaces to really inspire you to create in your own homes and have fun along the way. And so let's get started. Some of my favorite products this week are, I'm a huge fan of flowers, therefore I'm a huge fan of vases, and I specifically love vases that are unique and tell a story. So whenever I go thrifting, I'm always looking for fun vases to use in my studio here or at home. And this is very casual. If you'll have any questions, please post them below and I'd be happy to answer them. So the first item that I'm loving this week is a cement head vase. So I go to Round Top Antiques Week often because I live less than an hour away from there, about 30 minutes away. And last show, they had so many of these, but they were so expensive. And so I found this one on Amazon, and it is incredible quality. It's a large size. It's a great size. And I love it so much. So I will put in the description below the link for this beautiful head vase if you're interested in one. But again, the quality is superb, and it's just a wonderful vase. And so speaking of flowers, honestly, I prefer real flowers over fake flowers. But oh my goodness, there are so many incredible fake flowers these days that, especially now in Texas, it is so hot. I cannot keep anything alive in my garden. And so I found these tulips about a year ago on Amazon, and they are incredible. They are so lifelike. The color is stunning, and I just keep them here in the studio year round because they make me really happy. So these are the fake tulips. They're the lifelike tulips. They come in a variety of different colors. I personally like the yellow. It's such a beautiful pop. I use them here in the studio, and I also use them in my home whenever I just need to brighten up a corner of my farmhouse. But again, I've linked the vase and the flowers below in the description. And so I always like to at least feature one crafting item. And if you've been here for a while, you know that I love making pom-poms. I love making pom-poms because they're such an easy, beginner-friendly project, instant gratification, and it's a great way to use up all that wonderful yarn that I have. And so I wanted to feature Clover's pom-pom makers this week. I use these almost weekly. I love them so much. My daughter specifically loves crafting with them. They are so simple. I have a lot of tutorials on the blog about how to use them, but if you have any questions, please let me know. I also love them so much that I even wrote an ebook about them, and I like to change up my wreaths for each season, and this is the fall pom-pom wreath that's featured in the ebook. So I think it's fun because the pom-poms add a bit of whimsy and color to the wreath. And it's just a great way to also fill in this blank space that sometimes these pumpkins or leaves don't fill up. So anyway, I put the description below for the pom-pom maker and the wreath that's featured in my ebook. So check that out. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'm happy to answer them. Okay, so let me put these aside and we will get started on the craft. Okay, and you might have noticed my tree behind me. This is my holiday tree. I love decorating it for every single season here in the studio. It makes me so happy. And I did a reel this morning talking about my Halloween holiday tree, and it reminded me that not to take yourself so seriously. Whenever I walk in the door and see this really cute and whimsical tree, I'm so inspired just to have fun and just to create and just to enjoy the space. And I'm also reminded that you can just truly decorate with whatever you want and whatever you have. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Halloween. I don't like the spooky, I don't like the scary, even though my birthday is on Halloween. But I started enjoying Halloween when I realized you can decorate it and make it what you want. So I love pink, I love cute, I love whimsical, and that's where I'm going with today. So today we are going to be making this really charming and designer-inspired ghost pillow. So I'm going to teach you how to make these ghosts, and all I used is yarn, some fabric glue, and then some really cute pearls. So let's make these ghosts. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to bring the screen down a bit so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Okay, that should work. So now you can see my whole work surface. Thank you, Joyce. I think it's cute. I was inspired by our crafty mom. She actually used Dollar Tree mop at the head of a Dollar Tree mop to make her ghost. I thought that was really cute, but I wanted to add some fun color. And again, I'm making Halloween my way. I am not following the traditional colors, and I think that's okay. So you can use whatever. You can use fall-inspired colors. You can use colors like this. You could stick with white and black. But I was inspired by this ghost tassel garland that I made last year. And I put the link below if you want to make it yourself. It's very, very simple. But I particularly loved the colors that I used. And so I just repurposed that yarn from this garland to make this pillow. Okay, so let's get started on the pillow. So I started by buying, this is a Better Homes and Gardens pillow from Walmart. I think I spent just a little over $10 on it. I chose this one because it has a beautiful texture on it. Thank you. I had so much fun with that garland last year, and I did put the blog post below if you want to check it out. And then I also like the tassels on the side. So I felt like this pillow lended itself to adding a little extra whimsy to it. But you can use an old pillow that you have in your home. I would just recommend something without a print on it. So anything doesn't have a print or that just has a basic color on it will work perfectly for this project. Okay, and you don't need a lot of yarn for this either, so you can use scraps that you have lying around, which I love. Okay, so you're gonna need that, and then you're gonna need some yarn and some scissors. I just used some sharp embroidery scissors for this, but you can use whatever you have on hand. And then a scissor or just some kind of measuring tool. And then lastly, for the eyes, I used some pearls, but you can use gems. You could use tiny buttons. You could use felt. You could use even like yarn rolled up into a ball. Really, whatever you have on hand, have fun, get creative. And I think that's part of the beauty of making these DIY projects is everyone's is a little bit different, and that's great. Okay, so I've made these already, and you can see they're all a little different, which I love. So the texture of this particular yarn is a little different than the texture of these, and I think that that's beautiful because they all have their own unique story. But, and you can choose just to do 3 together, you can do 1 or 2. I did a fun little pattern, and so the next color I want to focus on is this really bright pink. I'm going to put them right here. And so I'm just going to take some of this pink that I have left over from my garland from last year. And I love a little pop. And I think that the mustard yellow and this beautiful eggplant really ground this pillow. And so you can add in some of your fun colors like this bright pink. Okay, so for each ghost, we're gonna do 3 separate pieces of yarn. So this is one piece, then the middle piece, and the very, very middle piece. And so I measured about 5 inches for the longest piece of yarn. So I'm just gonna measure out 5 inches. Again, it doesn't have to be too exact, and that's part of the beauty, is you can just have fun with it. So I just cut 5 inches, and then I'm gonna use my original cut to cut the next 2. So the next one's gonna be a little bit smaller, because that's gonna go on the inside, a little bit shorter. And then the very last one is gonna be even shorter, because that's gonna go in the very middle, okay? So as you can see, we've got just a tiny bit of difference with your lengths here, nothing crazy, but that way you'll see in a little bit why the longest one goes on the outside and the shortest one goes on the inside. Okay, so a couple of different ways that you can attach this. You could sew it on, you can even hot glue it on. I personally don't like to use hot glue when I'm working with fabrics or things that I'm gonna be touching a lot, because I don't know, I just feel like it comes off. And so my preferred glue for this is Beacon's Fabri-Tac. I love Beacon's glues. I use them all the time. And it's just, it's a great glue. I actually use this one a lot. So I am just gonna clean the nozzle, the glue tip. Okay, so we're gonna start by taking the shortest piece of yarn to build from the inside out. Okay, so the shortest one. And then for this first one, we're going to attach the glue directly to the yarn, just one line of glue going all the way down. Okay? And then we're gonna find our spot. We're gonna find the middle of the glue, the middle of the ghost. It's about right. And I do recommend keeping a towel nearby because it can get a little messy, but that's okay. Okay, so now we're going to place this ghost. I like to eyeball things. I'm not really exact, which I think is okay, but if you want to use a ruler and measure it out in advance and kind of do a fun marking, you can do that too. So we're going to take that ghost and I'm going to place him here in between my other 2 ghosts, and I'm just going to pull it down to create just a semicircle all the way down. So let me show you what I did. I just took that and I added the glue, and here's the top of the yarn, and then the bottom bits are right here, okay? So then the next one, we're gonna take the second shortest one, and then this time, when we attach the glue, instead of attaching it directly to the yarn, we're going to attach it to the pillow this time. So I'm gonna create a thin line around the first piece of yarn, and then I'm going to attach it directly to it. Okay? So from here, I'm just going to wrap my yarn around the first one. As you can see, very simple. The same thing, I just wrapped the second piece of yarn around the first piece of yarn. So you get that fun little loop. Okay, and then my last piece of yarn, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add just a thin line of glue right next to the last piece of yarn. And sometimes I use this glue so much that I should have just gotten a new bottle, because sometimes the glue likes to fall to the bottom. So if you don't mind, as I try to get this glue. Okay. And this glue will dry clear, so don't worry about that if you get a little bit of glue on the yarn. No problem. Okay, this is a fun project. It should be fun. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to wrap this last piece of yarn around the second piece. And so there you have it. You've got this adorable ghost right here. And it's okay if the bottom is a little uneven. You can trim that up with your embroidery scissors, or you can leave it like that, because I think that's a little cute and a little charming. So I like it. I like it a lot. And I like that the ends are going to fray a little bit to add a little extra whimsy to the bottom. Okay, so now for the eyes. Again, for the eyes, you can use some cute beads. You can use buttons. You can make your own felt circles. I wanted something that would stand out. Since I am using various colors, I'm not going with your traditional white ghost. So I found these pearls in my craft box, and these are the flat back pearls. So they attach easily to things, but you can use whatever you have, and I'm going to just glue with the same glue glue the eyes onto the top half of the ghost. And we're gonna do one. And then we're gonna get the same size for the other side. If you'll have any questions, let me know. Okay, so we're gonna add glue to this side as well. And then we're gonna attach the pearl to the other side. And then just kind of move them around until you're happy with their placement. Again, they're all a little different, and I think that's part of their charm. But look how cute it is done. Look at this ghost. And so now you've got this really cute ghost pillow that you can put on your couch for Halloween, or on your office chair, or anywhere that you just want a little extra charm and happiness in your day. So I will post a full tutorial. I'm hoping to post it up on the blog next week. But if you have any questions about this tutorial, let me know. I'm happy to answer it. It was very simple. As you saw, this ghost took less than 10 minutes to make, so you can make a whole bunch of them. I just recommend letting it dry completely overnight before you actually use it. But I just think it's really cute and a lot of fun. So that is all for today. If you have any questions about today's conversation, please check out the description below. But I so appreciate you being here with me. Again, I'm Elizabeth with Country Peony, and I focus on simple and inexpensive crafting projects and spaces. So if you have any questions, my messages are always open, and I would love to hear from you. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time on Coffee and Crafting here on Facebook at noon Central Standard Time. Thank you guys. I hope you have a great day and a great rest of your week.